Hey guys, this week for the vlog video, Ozzy did his first Extreme Cowboy Race. So here's a look at Ozzy during his round for the finals. We were second into the finals and then it was the top 5 riding again. So this is a look at our second round and I was super proud of this round because we were able to do everything that we were supposed to do. We rode a very accurate round. So we were able to lope up to the barrel with the flag and continue loping. Here he swapped his lead, but we were able to keep our momentum as we came through there. A little bit of opening of the mouth. So normally I ride Aussie bitless, and then even though I've never had to ride with a bit before for Extreme Cowboy, this judge wanted me to ride with a bit. So I'm not really used to riding with one, and he's not used to having one in, so he is opening his mouth a bit because I'm sort of pulling on him a little bit too much, slash he's not used to having it in there. We were supposed to do a flying lead change there, which we did, and we lope over the teeter-totter, which is sort of like a plus. Here, we'll just excuse Franny for a moment while she loses me out of the screen. And then here we're supposed to back through the barrels and then keep the barrel on our left hip there. And quite a few people were knocking us over, including us in our first round. And this was our second round, so it was my goal for the round to not knock over the barrel. And I was super happy that I succeeded in my goal. Here we're supposed to grab a right lead canter, which we grab here, and then we're supposed to do double backs. We were told to basically maintain momentum, switch leads, which we did there. You can see we grabbed our left lead and turn into the fence. And here basically do the same thing, turn into the fence, switch leads, which we did. You can see he grabbed his right lead canter there, and then come up to this pylon and halt, and then ride backwards. So you can see a little bit of opening of the mouth, not super awful, but he's a little bit like, there's a bit in my mouth. Not super bad though. Here we managed to get a couple strides of lope, which was pretty good for the drag there because it's a really tight spot. And then he allows me to put that down nicely. Then we're supposed to grab our left lead canter, which he grabs there. And then this was the only spot where we kind of messed up, where he hits the poles. And that was actually a pretty hard hit. He actually ripped a hole in his boots, and the thin line impact foam is what sort of saved his leg. So he didn't even have a scratch on him, but his boot definitely took a beating. And then this is just the free ride going for a gallop around. So that was Ozzy's first Extreme Cowboy run. That was his finals. And he ended up being fifth out of 5 in the finals, which we were a bit disappointed about. But we were told it was because he was opening his mouth too much. So we will work on that for next time. So this is on the Sunday. We went to the Mountain Trail Show, and this is Franny working with Gus. So Gus is our 3-year-old off-the-track thoroughbred that we're retraining for the Thoroughbred Makeover, and he hasn't really been out to a lot of things yet. This is his second time coming out. He had a sore back for a little while, so we're giving him some time off, and so now we're just sort of slowly getting him into some things. And so you can see he's doing pretty nicely leading through the obstacles. This is an in-hand class. So he's a little bit stressed, a little shaking of the head, extra tail swishing going on, but he's sticking with Franny pretty nicely. And then this is a pretty funny part coming up here. He comes down the bank here and then he throws a little bit of a tantrum. He just sort of gets some momentum going as he comes down the hill and just sort of gets overwhelmed and has a little tantrum. And I just love how Franny handles that. She just sort of looks at him and like now and just continues on nice and calmly. She doesn't make a big deal about it, but she continues on. She doesn't let that intimidate her. I just thought she showed great emotional control there for her horse. So well done, Franny. This is a little look at Pentland. So this is the in-hand class, and I did the open class, which meant I had to do a lot of running. So there's a lot of trotting in the class, which means I have to run with the horse. This is what they call the cake box, where the horse, it's a different sort of layers of, I guess, cake that you walk up. And this is a hard one for Pentland because he's so long, he's so big. And that platform up there, I think, is 62 inches, I think they said, for a turnaround. So we're just doing it slowly and carefully. And then you step off down the side and walk on down. So I was really happy with how he was trying, and I had had issues with him barging through obstacles. So that was nice that he was able to take that slow and carefully. So here's a little look at the logs. And then another little spot that I was really proud of him was with the water, because sometimes he can sort of, we've only done water, I think, once before, and he was a bit shy on it. And so here he sort of wonders, but then he trusts me and he goes right through. So I was really happy with him on that. He's definitely making progress. And then here's a little look coming into the last obstacle of the pattern, which is a teeter-totter going the wrong way, which he doesn't even hesitate, just up and over, no problem, and just really great um, relaxation from him. Really, really nice. Here's a little look at Franny when she rode Lumen. So this is Lumen's second obstacle show. His first one was at the Bone Hills, Larry and Kathy Bone Hills, and he really struggled with the water. So we ended up staying after the horse show last time to do water, and this is a look at approaching water for the first time, and he sort of sniffs at it, he looks at it, and he just goes right in. So the confidence building we did at the last time definitely paid off, and he was great at it this time. So lots of progress going on there. Really proud of Franny, really proud of Lumen. And this is Ozzy. So this is Ozzy doing the mountain trail. And so you can just see he's not really with me. So I haven't done a ton of groundwork with this horse. He's a former reining horse. And I enjoy all of his little buttons. And I'm basically teaching him obstacles. And you can see he's just sort of like, what are we doing? Why are you dragging me around the course? And it's because we're doing the in-hand class. And he's just not 100% with me. So I just wanted to show this as sort of like before footage. And then hopefully as we get going on our obstacles over time, we'll get better with that, and we'll hopefully start to see him being more connected to me. And then here I am doing the turnaround piece, and you can see here I'm asking him, but I'm just waiting on him. So he knows he was supposed to move his hip. He wasn't sure if he could. There I had to stop him from coming off, but not trying to bully him around, just trying to let him take his time and think his way around. This is his first in-hand competition with me, so just trying to really set it up for success for him. And then here's a little bit of a look at Ozzy's run. He was really happy with his splash box. So when we were at the last show, he struggled with the splash box. He wasn't so sure about it. This time he, first time through just goes right over. So I was really happy about that. And then here's a look at our turnaround box. So this you're supposed to do more fluid. You're supposed to do it very like not main, or you're supposed to maintain gait. You're not supposed to stop, start, stop, start. And then because this is a training show for Ozzy and I just focused on making sure that we could do it slowly and accurately. So just taking the time to get it slow and right instead of fast and wrong. And he's doing that really nicely there. And then allowing him to go off. So trying to remember that we take the time to put the things that we want into our horse so that way we can always build and add speed later. Here's a little look at our back down. So you do a half turn here and then back down. And you can see, of course, I'm riding him bitless now because this show allowed bitness. So of course, no gaping of the mouth and just nice and soft because we're riding in what he's used to. And he's looking. And here's a little look at Mystique. So there wasn't a lot of footage of her riding. I'm not sure what happened with the camera. So this is just a look at the last bit here. But she really impressed me. She did everything right through the splash box, the water. This horse's bravery and try just outstands me every single time. Our relationship has grown so much. And she was really, really relaxed and calm through all of this. She's just doing absolutely fantastic. So I'm really excited about her progress for the Thoroughbred Makeover. I think she's really well prepared already for the trail competition in Kentucky. So I think she's going to do well. And we're just working on slowly getting her softer and more responsive. So she's not quite so high-headed, but she's doing great. And this was at Oak Springs Farm. So thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next week.